If you are holding silver right now, you better get ready because 2026 might potentially be the best year ever, and it might set all new time record highs. And the reason is because of this. So if we break down this important update, we now have a US president with 100,000 price target on the Dow. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to work through each of these points. I'm going to talk to you about why this is really good for gold and silver, what this means for your portfolio. Also, some hidden things about this that a lot of people are missing out on, and what potentially can happen next in the silver price and the gold price as well. So if you enjoy the video, guys, just do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. It's a signal you're watching, you value this, and I try and give you the best analysis I can out there in the market. And appreciate every single one of you watching, and especially if you're watching the Super Bowl right now. So it is literally playing at the time of making this video. Big Super Bowl game between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots right here, and exciting stuff. So shout out to you if you're taking some time off to enjoy the Super Bowl today. And having said that, let's get straight into it. So the first thing we need to consider is the gold and silver price. It's looking quite good at the moment. So it is climbing back up. Remember, what I told you recently is there was a lot of FUD that was blowing around, and I told you exactly what I was doing. I was just stacking more gold and silver. It's really that simple, especially during these FUDdy times where people are saying, oh, look, it's going to go down to $30, $40. Literally didn't happen. And even if it did, it doesn't matter because I'm here for the long term. But right now we're pushing back up to $80. We're looking at $90. We're looking at $100. We're looking at new record all-time highs. And a lot of it is going to be driven by these big factors that we'll speak about right now. So President Trump has dropped this tweet, and he says right here, record stock market and national security driven by our great tariffs. I am predicting 100,000 on the Dow by the end of my term. Remember, Trump was right about everything. I hope the US Supreme Court is watching. And, you know, the reason this is important to understand is because if you actually take a look at the Dow, you know, it's sitting at 50,000. So Trump is basically telling us he wants a 2x on the entire Dow Jones, which is, I don't want to call it insane, but it's pretty powerful stuff. So if you actually zoom out right here, you take like a multi-year look at this, and we might actually just zoom this out quite a lot. You know, this thing has obviously been, yeah, wow. If you zoom it out on a 12-month window, 12-month candles, that is pretty cataclysmic the way it climbs. But, you know, you're generally seeing, what's this, like about 10,000 or so, potentially a year. That's kind of what it's looking like, or a little bit less. He's basically calling for 50,000 by the end of his term, which means this graph is going to accelerate. And what that is usually accompanied by is it's accompanied by a lot of monetary printing. It's accompanied by a lot of US national spending. And remember, this debt, the money that goes up, you know, this is going to be more and more bullish for our silver prices, for our gold prices right here. And we'll explain why that's going to be the case. But that's only the first point. Now have a look at point number 2. The US will have a new Fed chair who is required to cut interest rates. So there's been a lot of political pressure on Jerome Powell to cut interest rates. And remember, he hasn't really done it, right? So the new one, whoever comes in, which is, I think, is Kevin Walsh, he's going to come in, and if he cuts interest rates, that's going to be more money, more spending, right? More liquidity into the system. That's going to be great for gold, silver, precious metals, right? Because these are hard assets. This is going to set us up very nice. A $2,000 stimulus check back in discussion. So again, the last time we saw this, we saw people just getting into all types of assets, crypto. And this is going to be bullish for gold and silver as well. So people love to spend money and put it into the stock market and invest it, right? So that's going to be more money printing coming to US taxpayers. And again, this is going to be good for gold and silver. US government buying $200 billion in mortgage bonds. So again, more expenditure, more money printing, new $1.2 trillion funding signed into effect. And as memeish as that sounds, that's exactly to be expected. So if you've been watching my channel, you're part of my community, you guys will know this thing, there is no plan. The only plan on this thing, once it loads, is they will want to increase it indefinitely. So remember, the strategy for this is not to pay it off. It's almost to like just keep pushing it as far as it's going to go, to potentially one day it won't go any further, and that's when you're going to have real problems. But at the moment, the plan is to increase this by 1.2 trillion. So what that's going to do is your US national debt will then go to 40 trillion. So we'll be in the 40 trillions for the US national debt, which is another huge thing. And Trump saying US dollar is doing great after a 10% drop. And this post is summed up nicely: own assets or be left behind. And that is 100% true. So you don't really want to be owning too much in cash right now. So I actually don't have much in cash. I have cash to pay bills and, you know, a bit of a reserve of cash, but I prefer to have my money into stocks and into precious metals and into other assets as well, because I like diversity and I don't really want to be holding cash, especially if your government just spends it, debases the currency. And that's what we've been seeing a lot for many countries out there. You know, Australia, USA, we're all in this kind of boat together. And I think right now it's a great time to be patient. It's a great time to look at the long-term horizon of gold, silver, and the markets. And I think this thing is just going to, continue to rise. That is why my strategy is not changing. So again, what am I doing? I'm buying, I'm holding, I'm dollar cost averaging. I'm not selling, because I don't think any of these factors that we spoke about, they're going to change, right? They're looking quite bullish at the moment. And if we have a look at the gold price, from some technical point of view, and we'll have a look at the silver technical point of view as well. We're going back to $5,000. So a little bit of resistance right here at $5,000. Previously, we had a very nice run up where we got up to $5,500 for gold. I think it's more than likely that we're going to break that again this year. I've heard numbers of 8,000, so it could get wild. Remember, the Iran situation is not resolved. That could, literally explode any second. And if we have a look at silver, silver is working its way back up. So it's about, $80 roughly. And you can see the next level of resistance we need to break through, and that's going to be at about $90. So, I actually quite prefer it when the price chart is organic and steady and people are accumulating like this. Sometimes if it goes too rapidly, it can just form massive corrections right here. So even if the price was to go up like this, I'm not too phased, but I do like an organic price chart for long-term holding. But we're looking at $90 to break through on the resistance, and then above that you're looking at about 120 as the all-time high. So it's looking quite bright. And if we have a look at copper today, $5.96. Again, copper's looking solid. All the precious metals I think are looking quite solid. And I still think, look, 2026 is going to be the year of volatility. Lots of unresolved issues, lots of potential catalysts to push a lot of prices higher. And even the e-files, they're getting even more spicy, because one of the guys leading the charge, just saw this post come out, Thomas Massey that is, tomorrow I will go to the DOJ to view the unredacted e-files. Which doc should I view? Include EFTA link in reply. So he is really kicking the hornet's nest, so to speak. And I think people should have full transparent access to all of this. It shouldn't be redacted. And, let the chips fall where they may, just like in Fight Club. So you've seen the Fight Club movie, guys. There is a saying where he says, Tyler Durden uses the phrase, let the chips fall where they may, as part of his philosophy to abandon perfectionism and societal control, encouraging followers to embrace chaos and evolution. And I am with you there, Tyler. So I say, let the chips fall where they may. What may happen, and we can navigate the ruins afterwards and see what happens. But that is coming out of Capitol Hill, so watch out for that. And that could be a big potential escalation as well. But that's a major update for today. Really appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy your Super Bowl if you're watching that right now. I will see you in the next update on the channel. Economic Zeus signing out.